The following program is brought to you by PodcastOne Sportsnet.
This episode of the Steve Austin Show is sponsored in part by DDP Yoga. Working hundreds of matches over the years, it ain't no surprise that my body's taking its share of bumps and bruises. And my buddy Diamond Dallas Page knows all about the wear and tear the ring takes on your body, and his DDP Yoga fitness system was specifically designed to burn fat, reduce pain, and heal up from injuries. Dallas is so positive that you'll absolutely love the DDPY program and using the DDPY app that he's doing something he ain't never done before. He's going to give you 7 days free to try it out. That's a week to try the program. Explore the app and own your life, and it's completely free. DDP Yoga can work for all ages, weights, and fitness levels. It's a kick-ass cardio workout that will dramatically increase your flexibility and strengthen your core like never before, all with minimal joint impact. Just for listeners of the Steve Austin Show, you can save 20% off an annual membership for the DDP Yoga Now app off any DVD pack. Just go to ddpyoga.com/Austin and get started. And hey, check this out. Dallas will be at the Motor City Comic-Con in Novi, Michigan. He'll be appearing all 3 days, Friday through Sunday, May 18th, 19th, and 20th. Come down, get an autograph, take a picture, meet and interact with Dallas at the Motor City Comic-Con. You can get details and ticket info at motorcitycomiccon.com.
The following program is a PodcastOne.com production.
From Hollywood, California, by way of the Broken Skull Ranch, this is the Steve Austin Show.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah! Now, here's Steve Austin.
All right, everybody, welcome to Steve Austin Show. I am coming to you from the mean streets of Los Angeles, California today. I'm sitting over here at 317 Gimmick Street, and I got the curtains open, and I'm looking outside, and it's a bright, sunshiny day. I got these big, tall-ass bushes called photocarpus. They're growed up nice and tall. They're about 20 feet tall, and they're finally filled in. I got plenty of privacy over here. Nobody can see in here. So I'm messing around, doing open to this podcast. And the guy on my podcast today, it might be new to some of you people from the wrestling scene, but from you guys that know the Highland games or any kind of strength sport type things, you would have heard or have heard of Matthew Vincent. And right off his website here, I'm on thehate.com. Matt Vincent is a traveling strength athlete, a 2-time Highland Games world champion, and founder of Hate Brand Goods. And through his travels, Matt was lucky enough to spend time with exceptional people who were chasing strength, fulfillment, and personal growth in every imaginable way. Matt wrote a book. In his first book, The Training Lab, he spelled out the philosophy of the hate and tried to capture the spirit of self-improvement through self-loathing. And this idea would serve as a spark that led to Hate Brand Goods and a ton of adventures afterwards. Matt chronicles his travels and conversations with people in the strength game and beyond on his podcast, So I believe Matt's coming back over tomorrow, and I think I'm going to do his podcast. So basically, man, we're just sitting here shooting the breeze, talking about a little bit about pro wrestling, a little bit about life in general, Highlands games, just all kinds of shoot the breeze type things. And wasn't like an ABC type conversation. And the thing was, man, I talked to Matt for a lengthy time on the podcast. And then, dude, he hung around for like 3 more hours. We were shooting the breeze and talking about all kinds of bullshit. Had a good time. He's a real cool dude, based out of Louisiana. And Louisiana is one of my favorite damn states to go to. That's a big reason why I appeared down there at WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans, because I like that place so much. So he's out here on the West Coast racking up some podcasts, and he came by over here to 317 Gimmick Street. We opened up a can, and I think we're going to open up another can tonight or tomorrow on his podcast, and look forward to hearing that drop. Smart dude, very articulate, very eloquent, and smart dude, real smart dude. But anyway, before we get to him, man, I tell you what, Cinco de Mayo was just this past weekend. And I tell you what, man, I couldn't wait for May the 5th, so I started on the 3rd. Broken Skull IPAs, I got into a few Bloody Marys, and then I got into a few Broken Skull Ranch margaritas, and that's where I really went haywire, was on the margaritas, and followed that up with a little bit of red wine. And I absolutely had a blowout this weekend and had a good time doing it, man. I let my hair down. As you know, I don't have any hair, so I didn't let it down too far. But I tell you what, today is the day. Everything goes back on track. It was great to celebrate Cinco de Mayo, and that's why I started early. I love it. And so it's back in the gym today. My little garage gym is awaiting for me, and as soon as I get done with this open with Matt Vincent, I'm going to get in there and bust some ass, and I'm training chest and tries. I'm on a mission because I got a project coming up, and I need to get my ass in shape for it. So it's back to the grind, put down the booze. Cinco de Mayo is over with, and when that happens, about once a week. You can have a couple and stay in shape or get in shape. And that's what my goal is. You get back to the consistency, get my pump back, and get back on track. And it's not going to be a very long journey because they're not too far off. I didn't let myself slide too far down the road before I started making my comeback, so I'm looking forward to it. But God dang, I tell you what, the other day I was sitting on the couch and I was holding a bully stick for Callie, and she was chewing on that damn thing and it got real short. And holy smokes, man, that dog bit my damn thumb. And I can't remember if I told this story on the podcast or not, but she bit the shit out of me. And I went to the urgent care the next day, and they didn't put no stitches in it or nothing. That kind of slowed my lifting down, not really pulling anything heavy. Can't deadlift, can't really use that left hand too much, but I could push with it. So chest and tries is happening today, and it was an accident. But there should have been probably a couple of stitches in that finger. Shit, as long as she bit my thumb and she didn't bite my middle finger, I'm still good. I might need to get my middle fingers insured by Lloyd's of London. Those damn things have made me some money over the days. But anyway, Matt Vincent is my guest today. We're shooting the breeze and just talking about all things fitness, wrestling, and just life in general. Before we get to my interview with Matt, let me ask you a question. Is your home an ADT home? Well, mine is, and yours should be too. Get ADT and help protect against break-ins, fire, and carbon monoxide. For a limited time, take advantage of ADT's lowest rate starting at just $28.99 a month from the most trusted name in home security. Plus, ADT is the first security company to help keep you safe at home and when you're on the go with their ADT Go app, which features a family locator, safe driving reports, and even includes an SOS button with 24/7 emergency response. The best part is that you get ADT Go with the purchase of any security system. Just go to ADT.com/podcast to take advantage of ADT's lowest rate. 36-month monitoring contract required. Early termination and installation fees apply. Excludes taxes and fees. Applies to traditional services only. Certain markets excluded. Licenses available at ADT.com.
There's never a dull week in the world of professional wrestling, so to keep up on all of it, be sure to subscribe to the Wade Keller Pro Wrestling Podcast here at PodcastOne. I produce 2 new shows each week. Every Thursday on our flagship show, I'm joined by a co-host from the wrestling journalism field to talk about the hot topics in WWE and elsewhere. Every Friday, I'm joined by a guest who has worked in the wrestling business, including ex-WWE creative team members like Kevin Eck talking about Drew McIntyre.
Drew was a young guy, and did it go to his head, and did he walk around like he was the chosen one? He did, and I was frank with him, and I said, Drew, just so you know, this is how they view you.
And PodcastOne's own Christian Harloff, talking about his days working for WWE and Vince McMahon specifically.
As far as their perception of him, I mean, he's the king. He walks in, and it's just, you can feel it. I mean, if the Force was real, you would feel the Force powering into the room when he enters.
Just search Wade Keller on Apple Podcasts or on the PodcastOne app or anywhere else you listen to podcasts.
This is the Steve Austin Show.
You always say on the end of a lot of your Instagram captions, let's keep it weird.
Keep it weird, yeah.
Well, what do you mean by keeping it weird? Because last person told me that was Post Malone. Post Malone rolled up over here in $350,000 Rolls Royce Wraith. I had never seen one before. Jesus. And he said, let's keep it weird. And he walked in with two 18-packs. And I drank like a half a beer because I wasn't drinking at the time. Right. And so I can kind of get a sense of what he means when he says keep it weird. What do you mean?
The keep it weird for me, I think, is just trying to avoid that mundane, everyday bullshit that most people do. That, I mean, man, it just weirds me out, the idea that most people spend their lives like, you know, forcing themselves to get up and get out of bed, to go do a thing they don't particularly want to do, to sit in traffic, to answer to a person at a job they don't like, and then go, you know, to make money to afford a house that they're not in all day. That's strange to me. I'd way rather take the risk of having as much life experience as I can and like do it now. And so be uncomfortable. And like, I'm staying at a friend of mine's house in Santa Monica, and I try to stay with friends instead of hotels. So you get a little bit more time to hang out and do stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, you know, I got you set up out here. And like, and by out here, he's got like a tent on his back patio. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing today.
You was working in, like oilfield technology in Louisiana?
Yeah,
and you got laid off, and he said, well, okay, you were kind of doing this on the side, and you were competing in the Highland Games, and you'd kind of, you'd already started your apparel business, and you said, hey,
started that
full time?
2014. In October, we started selling some apparel, and it's gone great. And then, like, I never had any intention of doing this for a living. the oil field job doing outside sales was great. It's a great job, pays well, it's comfortable. You make your own schedule, calling people, going to lunch, bullshit like that, right? It's not hard. It ain't roofing houses. And then, it came up that kind of had the feeling like, they're not really, I think at some point they're going to let me go. And then, so it was like, well, do you want to quit? I'm like, nah, eventually they'll let you go. We'll keep this other thing trying to burn hotter until that time comes instead of, oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't walk in the house that afternoon when I got fired and tell the wife, I think I'd like to start trying to sell T-shirts. I'm glad that ball was already rolling before. She'd been like, figure out another.
Did you go to college?
Oh, yeah.
What'd you get a degree in?
I got a degree in general studies, which at LSU means I got 3 minors. So essentially I went long enough, they gave me a sheet of paper and said, I don't have to go anymore. And just best of luck.
Right.
They're like, here, you've given us enough money.
What are you supposed to do with that?
I have no idea.
So you got an oil field.
Yeah. Which, in the way that job works, like fucking anything else, right? I got a job in the oil field business and then was, climbing towers in the refinery and doing diagnostic scanning on them. And it's a tough gig. Travel a lot and go do that. And then I kind of realized, we get paid more if we have more jobs. And so I started doing sales for the company, just cold calling people and doing all that. And so then another company hired me to just do sales. And then another company hired me from them to just do sales. And then so far down the road. I
was listening to you talk to the dude from the On It podcast, and you guys were talking about keto and THC, just as far as some of your pain management stuff. But let's go back a little bit because you were a 2-time Highland Games champion.
Yeah, 2-time Highland Games world champion. So
and that means what? Because I know your crowd is following us over here.
Okay, so
the Highland Games. Talk about what 9 events? Yeah,
so we've got 9 events in the Highland Games. We throw 2 stones, real similar to the shot put. We throw 2 hammers, which is a 16 and a 22-pound ball on the end of a stick. You got 2 weights for distance, which is like a block with a chain and a ring on it. You throw with one hand. One's 56 pounds, one's 28. You throw for distance. You throw the 56 for height over a bar is another event. We got the caber, it's the one everyone knows, the telephone pole. And then we throw another weird one occasionally, mostly in the States, is the sheaf, which is a 20-pound burlap bag you throw with a pitchfork for height, which the crowd loves because it's easy to understand if it was good or bad.
Right.
So did that for 9 years. So traveled around, did 2 years as an amateur, and then turned professional in it and competed a bunch, usually 22, 23 times a year, about 6-month season.
Yeah, but dude, when I was thinking about some of those strongman stuff, I always think about Bill Kazmaier because when I was wrestling in WCW, Bill decided, hey man, let me be a pro wrestler.
Bill's a wild man.
And it got big as a damn house. So was that more Highland Games stuff? Was he doing strongman stuff?
He was doing strongman.
Okay.
So Bill's done Highland Games.
How did he do?
He did okay.
Okay, but I'm just asking because that dude is a monster.
He's a monster,
dude,
right?
You're a big dude. And
yeah, but
when you're competing.
I was about 290.
Okay.
But I'm 6 foot. I was small for the crowd of guys I'm throwing against. I think average height and weight of our pro group was 6'3", 320. And so at 6 foot 290, I'm not the biggest guy in the group. So I had to make up for it with being plenty strong and fast and then the technical side of stuff. So, after doing track and field in college, all the technical side of it made sense with how to throw.
Yeah, but I was listening to you kind of talk about your throwing in college, and you weren't over the moon with it.
Wasn't great.
Yeah.
It was very, very average.
So then, but you were able to become a 2-time world champion in the Highland Games. So what changed?
I think my skill set played really well to those events that I could learn 9 very well. Now, I had a couple of events that I was, for a few years that I was pretty untouchable in, but I wasn't breaking world records.
What were your best events?
I was good in the stones as a shot putter. I tied a world record, tied Brian Oldfield's world record. And then the weights for distance I was pretty good at. But I was good across 9. And, man, if you want to win world championships, all you got to do is finish second and everything. Right. You ain't got to win shit.
Right. Yeah, it's just consistency of finishing with high marks.
Yeah, and so that's how I was good at it. I could do all of them well.
Man, you're from some small town in Louisiana, but are you now based out of Lafayette?
No, I live in Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge?
Yeah, Baton Rouge, yeah.
You like Cajun food?
Of course, yeah.
Okay,
That's been one of the downsides of
I
trying
went down to WrestleMania 34 just because it was in Louisiana. Right. I love the food. I love that state. I've wrestled in basically every small town in Louisiana and played every single football. Sure. At the junior college level, we're playing a lot of, we're playing LSU's JV squads, but I played everybody over there. Coming up in high school, what was your max distance in the discus?
In the discus, I was throwing like 150-ish, so it really wasn't great. I got recruited as a shot putter.
That's where I was at. Now,
I was a 60-foot shot putter.
I was in the short 40s.
Yeah.
I'd get smoked every time.
How big were you in high school?
Man, when I graduated, I was 6'1", 205. I was running back. My line weighed up 165.
See, I graduated high school at 265.
Jesus.
Well, no, me and my brother pounded through some food. My poor parents now looking back at it, right? Like to my brother, I'm the run of the litter between the two of us. Andy's 6'4", 320, 330. Played ball at A&M, and then played a couple years in the league, and then got into the Highland games, did some pro strongman. Right. And so we got to travel around and golf together around the world.
How was that?
It's fun, man. It's great fun.
What's your age difference?
4 years. Or right at 5 years. We were never in high school together.
So, man, if you graduated from high school, 265, you said?
Yeah.
What are you weighing now?
245. It's strange being.
Okay, give me the difference in composition.
Oh, I was chubby then, right? I'm a chubby kid doing sports.
Right.
I mean, I didn't have any idea about food or any of this shit. We were housing cheeseburgers just like anybody else. Especially.
How was the strength training program down there? Like, were you strong as a kid?
Yeah, I mean, I think I finished up high school. I clean and jerk probably 330, and then. Bench probably 385-ish, and I would squat 5. Yeah, so I was a relatively strong kid. And then, power lifted for a couple years after I got out of track and field in college.
Man, I've seen some of your lifts, your totals between, raw and geared.
Right.
Man, light years of difference.
Of course, man, the gears.
What do you think about the gear? I mean, because going back to the day, didn't you? Because you have your own podcast.
Yeah.
And what's the name of your podcast?
So.
Okay, explain that.
So it's just a stutter term that I'll use talking to people, and so I just use it as the title of it. And then I figured it didn't pigeonhole me into a direction because I'm interested in all types of weird shit. It's not all meathead shit all the time. I want to talk about a lot of things. And so, I've had my tattoo artist on. I've had a bunch of weird people. And so, I just want to hold conversations with people that I don't know a lot about.
Where can people find your podcast?
It's on iTunes, on Spotify. It's everywhere. So podcast. I think we're 26, 27 episodes in.
Well, I was wondering because you were talking to Jesus Christ, greatest powerlifter in history.
Ed Cohn.
Ed Cohn.
Yeah, Eddie Cohn.
His name escaped me.
He's the best, man.
I got a chance to meet him a couple times.
He's the best.
We were at God dang, what was it?
He had pet tigers at one point in his life.
It was one of the Olympias, and he comes up to me, and goes, "You're not going to know who I am." And I said, Ed Cohn, I know exactly who you are. And so, but he was super nice.
He has giant hands on him.
Okay, but I want to go back to you got a chance to interview him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now how old are you?
I'm 35.
Okay, and I had a dude on the podcast about a year ago out of Illinois. Mm-hmm. He didn't know who Doug Furness was.
I came up in a good window. That I'm still such a student of the strength stuff that I'm a fan of all these guys. Your Gary Franks, that when I cut my teeth in powerlifting, like the internet wasn't what it was 10 years ago, right? So like I got to know everything that I got to know I was on the road traveling, doing the sales job. So I would set up places to go train. I'd go hang out with Steve Pulcinella at Iron Sport, outside of Philly, or, I'm going to be in Ohio, I'll contact Dave Tate with Elite and go train there, and then made friends with Windler, and he and I have been buddies for a number of years now. That's how I met Mark. I was out here doing work, and I was like, hey, man, is it cool if I come by the gym? And, just as a stranger, and go in, shut the fuck up, listen and learn as much as you can from these guys. Weird, right?
But you know of Doug Furness, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, because god dang, man, had he not gotten to the business of pro wrestling, there's no telling what that guy could have done. And going back to the reason I wanted to bring up Ed Cohn and Doug Furness, dude, I was back in the single ply days.
Right. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, different gear.
Shit was it was like almost like living with a tight T-shirt.
Yeah, it's way different gear. I mean, shit, man. Whenever I did my best all-time bench raw, it's like 440, and then I did a shirted bench. I only did 2 meets, I think, fully geared, and the second one I did, or 2 or 3, and the second one or third. I hit a 700 bench in a shirt. I mean, that's a huge jump in weight. That 260 pounds difference. I got shin splints in my forearms from it. Like, I've never had that much weight in my hands. It's obnoxious.
I remember when RCD bench 705 back in the day, and it was like, the earth had shifted off its axis. 705 was unheard of. Now you guys
got doing them raw.
1,000.
Well, you got guys benching 700 raw.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
With a little help from their friends.
A little bit.
I always talk about, through my, career playing football. I played, high school football and then junior college football, and we were D2 at North Texas State. They're Division One now, University of North Texas. Then I got the business of pro wrestling. Now, on a kickoff return, I blew up my ACL on my left knee. And then I blew up my PCL, and I just had both of them replaced several years ago.
You got the whole knee done?
No, well, just ACL, PCL from cadaver tissue. And then my right
I'm glad you got the lucky draw on that one. I'll take the downside for yours to work.
Oh, yeah?
I've had a shit run of it in the last 2 years.
Of what?
Knee surgeries.
Okay, so no PCL on the right knee. This arm doesn't straighten out any further than that because I got all this calcium in this joint. I have my tricep reattached. 3-4 fusion.
Well, you can't get arm barred. You're sweet. You move into jiu-jitsu, yeah.
There's going to be a short arm bar. And somebody's going to break the shit out of my arm. And in pro wrestling, I always work the left anyway.
There you go.
But anyway, I wanted to go briefly just through what I've been through because you've been pounding the weights for as long as you have. But dude, you're a young dude. How old are you?
35, yeah.
35, so you're a young cat. But I was listening to you on that one podcast. You're talking about your pain management. And you don't even know what a 0 is anymore on a 1 to 10 scale or a 1.
Not really.
Dude, what kind of pain are you in?
Yeah, I'd say most days, right? Like today, the knee's a little pissy.
Okay,
but that's normally a little
What did
pissy.
you have done to them, or how did you destroy them?
So, tore an ACL in college, got it fixed. They did a patella tendon. Yeah, which we're supposed to use a hamstring tendon.
Yeah.
So, woke up from surgery and they said, we pulled your hamstring tendon, we couldn't use it.
Thanks.
Like, it was too short. And I'm like, oh, sweet. And so, so we used your patella tendon.
Yeah.
So now I've cashed out both of those on that leg in one surgery. And that held up for a long time until I got out of college. I opened up a bicycle shop with a buddy of mine and did that for a number of years. I was riding a lot, and I blew up my ACL at a skate park, avoiding crushing some little kid. Yeah, I just would have gone through him and just been a pink mist at the skate park as I'd have plowed through this little bastard. This little kid has no idea it's ever even taken place.
Yeah.
Ruined my life. And so then, at that time in life, I'm 20, 22, probably not the world's greatest insurance there. And so didn't get it fixed.
Yeah.
And then competed the whole time in the Highland Games and then strongman and everything without one. It worked pretty good as long as I know what direction I'm going. But if you need me to react to a thing, I'm going to fall over like a sniper caught me.
Yeah.
And so finally tore a meniscus. And that was kind of the shitty string on the sweater that started unraveling everything. So finished the season in 2016, second in the world, and then dove into having surgery. Like, all right, we'll take a year off, we'll rehab this thing and see how we go. And so did an ACL surgery, did the meniscectomy, and the ACL didn't take. Cadaver tissue didn't take. So fully go through all the way through the rehab of everything in it, and they're like, "That didn't take. Let's do it again." So,
and when you say it didn't take,
just ate it.
Like my doctor told me, he goes, "Steve, there's a chance these things might not regain their elasticity and tighten up."
Yep.
And so that's what happened.
Mine are just gone. Like they went back in for a scope to pull out a floating piece that I could feel, and there was just no ACL. Like they hadn't done anything. There was just screw holes.
Right.
So whatever reason, my body rejected it or something like that. So did it again. That one didn't take. So I went through 3. I had 3 full ACL surgeries in less than 2 years. Plus, we did an Oates procedure, which is they do these like 30 millimeter cartilage plugs at the end of the femur. That one's the one, if I could go back, I'd probably not have done. That one's probably the one that gives me the most shit.
That sounds a little gimmicky to me.
I'm not terribly
up to speed with that one.
I'm not terribly happy with that one. It just didn't heal up real good, so there's still a void behind part of it. And so when I'm doing stuff and it loads that medial side of the knee, it moves. After getting through that and like really having chronic pain and like not being able to walk upstairs and not be able to be on my feet for more than 10 minutes, like the idea of throwing, I was like, fuck this, man. I got to get out of pain for life. I'm 33 years old. Like, I got other shit that matters to me I did this.
Yeah.
Chances are I'm not going to be as good at it ever again anyway. Let's close this door and move on and figure out what's next. And so that was get healthy, lose some weight, and figure out a different plan. And then pain management is keep getting better, but man, laying on the couch there eating Vicodins ain't the thing. That ain't my favorite place to be.
So many of my buddies in the business of pro wrestling, and don't get me wrong, I'm no stranger to some Vikes or perks. Oh, sure. But I just don't crave them. I mean, I can take a couple here and there or whatever. This is back in my day.
Well, they serve a purpose, right?
Yeah, they do. But when you're on the road in the business that we were in, it's like, on one hand you take them because you're in pain, but on the other hand, it's like, hey, man, a couple of these and a pot of coffee, I'll be feeling pretty good.
Great.
Yeah, so
I don't see how you guys did it, man. Like, look, when we traveled to compete, that's from like May until the last week of September. And we would do, 5 or 6 weekends in a row. That's fly out, compete, fly home, train, fly out. I mean, you guys do 300 shows a year.
Yeah, but it's like being like I always tell people, it's like being a rock and roll star. It's like being a professional athlete. It's like being a truck driver. And man, you're living fast. Your performance in the ring has to be good.
Of
Your
course,
performance
right?
on the horn has to be good. I mean, you're trying to draw money.
Yeah,
but from an athletic standpoint, it's not like, you trying to lift X amount of weight or throw something so far.
Look, you couldn't do what I did with strongman or powerlifting. Like the CNS toll's too bad. It would just kick the shit out of you.
Right.
But the throwing, like nothing we throw is heavy, right? Like, I mean, we're talking about 56 pounds. There's nothing I couldn't ask you to do in your gym with 56 pounds that you'd be like, okay, it's not heavy. But trying to figure out how to apply a 400-pound clean to something that weighs 56 pounds is all creating leverage and speed and going fast. And you can't throw at half speed.
Right.
And so it's got to be full go. There's a lot
say
more
genetic
you could do.
potential is the biggest part of that.
Right?
There,
I mean, that's why I've got a strong man.
Right.
I ain't big enough.
Right.
Look at the guys that I'm friends with that do strongman now. Hapthor's 6'10", 440 pounds, just won World's Strongest Man. At my biggest, I was 312. Didn't hold that well. Looked like a bunch of mashed potatoes. Awful. It looked like a bunch of mashed potatoes stuffed into a sock. I was strong.
Yeah.
Pull 700 pounds, something like that. And so, but even I'm pulling 700 pounds. Hapthor weighs 440. That guy can pull double body weight too.
Yeah, but you were pulling 700 and benching 705.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That shirt's a good way to go, man.
I mean, 700's a lot of,
dude.
It's a lot of damn weight, but when it's 5 pounds less than your bench press, it's like something's up.
I wish with the shirt, I wish they did like with a bench shirt that they just didn't call it a bench.
Yeah,
because it's just such a different thing. The biggest thing that I can explain, I'm glad that I had the experience to know a difference. Like with the heavy geared squat and the bench, more than anything else, like. If you can raw squat 600 pounds, like if that's your max, I mean, you can unrack that weight, you can step back with it. You're going to struggle at some point in the lift, but it ain't a grind the whole lift. It's definitely not an ungrind to unrack, do any of this. When I squatted 1,000 in gear, all of it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, this is the most I'm unracking. This is the most I can handle at an inch.
Are you walking backwards? That mono?
Shit, no, that's monolift, man. I ain't trying to go anywhere with that. A good way to die.
What do you think? Like Ed Cohn, how does he feel about the mono?
I think Ed's come around.
Understands it?
I think Ed's got enough years on him now that Ed's happy that people have a barbell in their hands. And that's really where I've fallen into it too. Whatever, like, oh, this is bullshit compared to that. Like, look, more people got barbell in their hands. I'm into CrossFit. I'm into anything. More people in this country lifting weights, success.
Right. Hey, man, let's shift gears and talk about keto diets.
Yeah.
Because last time I talked to you, we've actually talked on the phone before.
Right.
It took us this long to put a podcast together. But I was just sitting here. I was talking right there in the kitchen to Mark. I think you guys are on speakerphone.
Yep.
You guys said something about a keto diet. And I said, you know what? Because, Mark's always keto. I said, man, finally, F it, I'll give it a shot.
Give it a go.
I did it. I mean, I got great results. And then as since, I just got off and I had some physical problems that I couldn't train around. So I just went back to regular eating. Are you still keto-based?
I'm not keto-based. And the only reason I say I'm not is because I'm not tracking it. And so I have no clue if I'm in ketosis or not.
Yeah, but again,
that said.
But to me, in ketosis, I think it's bullshit. Look at it this way. If you're in a caloric deficit and you're taking 25 net carbs.
Well, look, if you want to eat completely a keto diet and you want to be 1,200 calories over your thing, you're going to gain weight.
Right.
Weight gain, weight loss isn't some fucking magic thing because of the foods you chose to put in your mouth. It's still in versus out, period.
Yeah, that. And also the fact that, I went and got those damn keto sticks. I'd piss on them. I didn't get one to turn no colors. Dude told me, he goes, Steve, don't worry about it. He goes, you're in a caloric deficit. You're under 25 net grams. Your body's burning something.
Yeah. Personally, for me, with the amount that I travel, keto-style diet, that high-fat diet, was a lot easier for me to maintain.
Super easy.
Because no matter where I go eat, and if I'm eating out, which I'm going to eat out, I can't avoid fat at a restaurant. Like, everything's going to be cooked in fat. It's delicious. But carbs aren't that sneaky. I cannot eat chips. I cannot eat rice. I cannot have potatoes. And so, the rules I ended up following that I kind of live by now are like, I've got 3 dietary rules. It is, did it have a face? Is it a green vegetable? And the only other one is, can I identify it as one thing? So that's macadamia nuts, that's pistachios, that's, occasionally some fruit. That is an apple, not some processed bullshit, And so I feel way better with that. And I think that's made a big difference for me inflammation-wise, is staying away from carbohydrates.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So, like on a daily basis, how many carbs do you think you're getting in? 50?
Tops.
Right.
Yeah, tops. Because I typically do the intermittent fasting, too.
Really?
So I won't eat till, it's 12:30 now. I haven't eaten.
And so when you shut the window down after you eat and when you eat?
Yeah, at some point I'll be hungry, and so I'll eat. And then once that door is cracked open, it seems that I'm hungry. Like, once I've decided to give the body food, it wants to continue eating. And so I'll eat until 8, 9 p.m. when I'm ready to go to bed.
You like it?
Yeah.
Are you able to get
easier
enough
enough for
fiber
me
in?
to maintain. Well, you're not eating as much, right? And so, the fiber-wise doesn't seem to be that big a deal. I don't feel bloated. I don't feel stopped up. And I'm eating green veggies.
But how many calories you figure you're taking in?
I think I'm probably still getting 2,200, 2,300.
Oh, man, that's not very much.
Dude, metabolically for me, and that's whenever I started losing weight and we were tracking things. Like, I had some people help me out nutrition-wise and say, like, your body weight and where you're at and what you're doing training-wise. Like, we need to have you probably 3,600 calories, and I'm putting on 2 pounds a week.
Same thing.
I'm like, man, I don't burn the way that you think I do, so we've got to adjust to me. And then, for me to drop a pound a week, I'm going to be at 2,000.
Really?
Is what it is.
No, it's interesting because, man, I've been on every single calorie calculator on the damn internet. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it's just like you said, man, some of them, Steve, you need to be at 4,200 calories doing what you're doing. Right? I'm like, 4,200, and I'm like a bloated ass pig trying to eat 4,000 calories is a shit pile.
Look, and I think a lot of it goes to, if you look at what you weighed, post-puberty, graduate high school. If you were over 200 pounds and you're a fit guy and you're a guy who can put on size, and look, if you need me to go back from where I'm at now at 240 to 300 pounds and get really strong, I don't know, next weekend I could probably pull that off if I just went off the rails.
Right.
But if you need me to lose another 10 pounds, we really got to dial shit in. And, I'm going to suffer to lose that 10 over probably 6 weeks. But I could put on 20 like that. And so if that's the style that you're that type of person and that's what your metabolism is, you don't need those calories. You're not that guy who gets the flu and loses 10 pounds because you didn't eat 3,500 calories. I get the flu and gain 5.
Right.
So.
I either gain 5 or stay the same.
Right. If I'm not doing assault bike during the day or going to ride my road bike or, trying to go lift or do any of the other things, I'll easily gain weight quick. And
really?
So, look, I got a benefit that if you want me to be big and strong, I can be big and strong.
What are you doing for your cardio? More high intensity stuff?
Yeah, it varies.
You don't seem like a steady state guy.
I mix it up, man.
Yeah.
There's some days I just want to go sit either on the assault bike and watch a YouTube video or something like that. Or,
but for how long?
If I can do the assault bike sitting in the garage or on the spin bike in the garage, 30 minutes is the max that I can stomach before I'm bored to tears and I gotta get off of it to maybe do some squats or something. Just something to keep the heart rate up, change it up. But I like going to ride my actual mountain bike or road bike. And I can go do 20 miles there, which is about an hour 15. I'm comfortable there. I can put on a podcast and I'm out in the sun. I'm outside. Spend enough time in the gym, man. It's nice being outside.
You like swinging kettlebells?
I do.
Man, I saw people swing those kettlebells for years, and it's like, man, what in the hell is that? It's bullshit. Ain't nobody doing nothing. It's just sissy exercise. I picked one up. Dude, I started swinging. I got a 40 in my garage right now. It's 40, 42, whatever it is. I love that thing.
Yeah.
You talk about an ass whooping. Just start swinging that thing. I'm just talking about a regular kettlebell swing, not switching hands, not being fancy. I'm not catching anything. I'm just swinging the damn thing in the hike position. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got a big 106, and that thing's mean.
Holy smokes, dude. I mean, I'll jump on that assault air bike. I'll jump on that
that thing,
kettlebell.
those things too.
I'll whip your ass.
You're never going to win.
No.
That thing doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't give a shit at all. It will beat the shit out of you, especially if you do like a 30-second give it hell. Like get it up over 1,000 watts for 30 seconds and then give yourself a 30-second. Get as much air back in you as you can and let them have it. Oh, you can smooth make yourself vomit on that thing quick.
I haven't done that yet.
That's no fun.
I don't think I have the willpower at this stage
of
my life.
I was up in Pennsylvania last weekend at a veterans outreach workout thing at a friend's gym. And ended up we did like this 22 exercises for 22 reps type of thing. And so we're kind of moving from thing to thing. And so got the deadlift, and I was like, oh shit, we got squats coming up. So I'm stupid. I decided go ahead and sneak this in there and get this out of the way. So 225 on the bar. So I clean it, put it on my back, and squat it 20 times, drop it and pull it 20 times. And then spent the next hour and a half trying not to throw up on myself. I was like, I highly underestimated how awful that was going to go. I mean, you grew up South Texas, yeah?
Yeah.
Like Victoria?
Yeah. Well, I'm born in Austin, and we moved to Victoria.
Okay.
My parents got divorced.
Man, we had one of the companies I worked for, we had a ranch down in Victoria. We took people out to hunt and do stuff like that. So I've spent enough time that far south. It's fun.
You hunt?
I did a lot. I don't hunt a whole ton anymore, just time-wise. That's been moved low on the priority list, but grew up hunting, doing stuff like that. A lot of duck. We did a lot more duck hunting.
Yeah, but did you eat the duck?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
You don't like duck?
Man, the best recipe I ever heard for duck was if you get a duck, clean the duck, stuff it full of shit, cook it for an hour at 350, then take out the shit, throw away the duck, and eat the shit.
See, I always
never had great duck.
See, me, take duck breast, and you could wrap it in a jalapeno, a piece of bacon, and grill it. I always like that.
Okay, and I can dig that.
That I could do, but I'm Southern enough. I like gizzards and hearts and all that, like a pot-roasted teal, stuff like that, and dirty rice.
Box of Church's chicken livers.
Yeah, it's great.
Gizzards a little on the tough side.
I'd go chicken livers. I like hearts too. Hearts are good. Yeah, man, I think probably I'd be pretty tough bet if you were like last meal. What do you want? Big pot-roasted speckle belly. Like with dirty rice and livers and gizzards and all that, and the rice.
I'll just go with some crawfish etouffee.
Crawfish etouffee, huh?
Dude, come on, man. That's my favorite Cajun dish.
What about like pistolets? You ever run into those?
No, what's that?
See, you guys run into these kolaches in Texas.
Yeah.
I ain't a big fan.
Where are you getting kolaches in Texas?
They got them all over the damn place.
Yeah.
Kolaches, look, this is a fancy pig in the blanket. It don't do a whole lot for me.
Right.
Pistolets, they take these little sourdough rolls, fill them with crawfish etouffee, and fry them. Now these, man, when I was the last couple jobs I had doing sales, I was servicing people in Beaumont, which apparently my region had now moved into Texas, and Beaumont was now part of the 3-hour people that I need to see once a week away from my house. So I'd pick up pistolets at this little place in Lake Charles on the way in and bring them over there, and I could always have a meeting because they knew I was showing up with these.
Right.
And I can't eat these things. Because if you touch one of them, you may as well drive 30 of them into you. So you're that guy. Oh, yeah, there's no moderation for me.
Here's the thing. So you're keto-based.
Dude, I can't touch it. I got a truck full of these delicious bastards for an hour drive in smelling great. Like, I can't have... So they would also do like a fried sausage, which was just sausage they threw into the deep fryer. It didn't bread it or anything, so I could eat that all I wanted.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is great for you, but whatever. It fit the rules. Man, those pistolets, those things blow everything else out of the water.
When you get home, FedEx me a box of them. I'm kidding you.
See, I don't know how I could do it, but
hey, man, I saw.
I gotta have the technology at this point, right?
I was watching some of your videos on YouTube, and it showed you training with Dana Lynn Bailey. Mm-hmm. And I've never met the young lady, but she works out like an animal.
She's a savage.
Yeah, and she's got a great physique. How was that? Did she blow you up? I mean,
no,
she
dude,
got crazy fitness.
She's got it. Was really excited to just be able to train with her and hang out. And so did it a couple days and like tried to film and then like realized the second day that filming was coming a pain in the ass. So I just going to train, right? And she can outsuffer other people. Hypertrophy work. Like I ended up following her workout and like we did, side delts. And like, man, I grew up doing sets of anything over 5 is way more than I'm trying to do, right? And so she's like, all right, so we're going to do side delts and we'll do 40 reps. So we'll do 3 drops to get to 40 reps. I'm like, okay. And like we do it and like I'm trashed. My arms are useless. Like look like one of those waving arm machines. And she's like, all right, so we'll do 5 sets of that. I'm like, ugh. Like I'm following the weights that she's doing. She's a 130-pound girl.
Yeah.
And and then did 6 or 7 other exercises. And like, I'm spent and useless for the next 2 days. And she was like, yeah, that's about a third of what the shoulder workout would have been when I was getting it.
What was that, man? Y'all were on a military press machine. It had a big footprint.
Man,
it
so
looked
it's a
badass.
Viking press.
What the hell was that?
Viking press machine. So they made it.
Oh, dude, it looks amazing.
So
especially dude, I had both rotator cuffs rebuilt.
Dude, those are cool machine. So big Viking press machine. It's an old strongman lift that they would use and set up a big log and have the 2 handles off of it. And so you can press and kind of drive under it. And they made one because at some point they, in their warehouse, had a car shop. And so had a tube bender and had all this. So just started making random equipment that they wanted. And that was one of them. And it's a cool piece. It just takes up, I lift in my garage by myself. That's not I can't take up that much space for a thing that does one.
All right, let's take a quick pause for the calls and give big ups to TrueCar. These days, news travels lightning fast, which is great if you're a sports fan. Between status updates and breaking news notifications, you can always be up to the minute on every team and every game. Now, while this is great for sports, it's the opposite when it comes to buying a car. Go online and you're bombarded with numbers, invoice, list price, dealer price. It's hard to know how to recognize a good price. Well, not anymore. Introducing True Price from TrueCar. It's the only price you need to know because it's exactly what you'll pay for the car you want, including fees and accessories. How do you know if your True Price is a great price? Because TrueCar shows you what other people paid for the same car you want, so you know how to recognize a good price. And your certified dealers know this, so they set their true price competitively so they can win your business. So when you're ready to buy a new or used car, visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Some features not available in all states. You're also going to need car insurance for that new vehicle. Go to geico.com, and in 15 minutes, you could be saving 15% or more on car insurance. That's right. Save hundreds of dollars on car insurance at geico.com. Extra money in your pocket? It may just be the most rewarding thing you do today. All right, sports fans, listen up. Check out Eyes on Sports with Susie Schuster and Rich Eisen every Wednesday on PodcastOne Sportsnet. The Emmy-nominated sportscaster and her equally impressive husband examine the latest stories in sports from the eyes of both professionals and parents. Check out Eyes on Sports at PodcastOne Sportsnet and Apple Podcast. Also, remember to rate and review. We always appreciate your feedback.
This is the Steve Austin Show.
Man, I just bought a place in Nevada a few months back, and we were based out of Texas. Well, I live here in Marina Del Rey for 14 years.
Hey, this is a big change from Texas.
Oh, man, you kidding me?
This just happens to be the epicenter of a place you need to be for the rest of life to work out so you can escape back.
Yeah, it's like, man, I came out here, I've told this story a million times. I'll give you the long story short. Man, when I got out of business pro wrestling, I didn't want to get out. I needed to get out because of my neck. And so I was living in a gated community.
Father Time wins.
Oh, man.
He's undefeated.
But when I retired, I was 38. 38 is when you're really getting good because you know everything, up here.
Really?
Oh, man. It's all about what's between the ears.
Shit,
38.
how long did The Undertaker do it? Forever?
Well, he's still doing it.
Still doing it.
Yeah. I mean, that guy, I'm sure he feels, on 110, with one being very little pain. I would imagine he's over one.
Yeah, so he's operating higher than one.
Like sitting here right now, I'm under one. Yeah. I'm not in any pain as we.
Me right now, my knee's aggravated, but that's it.
Yeah, but I mean, just like when we to come out here, I was for 3 years. Man, I hunted and fished and drank. and not necessarily in that order. And then finally, I woke up one morning and I said, Steve, you better get your ass out to L.A. because before I got in the wrestling business, I was driving a forklift, manual labor, loading, unloading trucks on a freight dock.
You're working your way straight back into that job?
Yeah, man. I mean, I didn't have my desire wasn't to come out here.
You could have sold used cars somewhere in Victoria. Nice.
I damn near did because I love the car business. The guy that I used to always go hunting with, the guy who I got my Chocolate Lab Hershey from, owned a Chevrolet dealership down there in Dilley, Texas, and I damn near went to work for him because I'd had my retirement money, I saved it all. I figured, man, I just like to sell cars because that's how much I love them. And I figured, one morning I woke up or I came to, whatever the story was, I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, Steve, you need to get your ass out of here and go out to L.A. and make use of the name that you still have from your wrestling days. So I came out here and started making some low-budget movies, and, it kind of facilitated, being here, we get you work. And I did, don't like acting, so now I stick to the reality stuff and the podcast stuff. But anyway, just to cope with dealing here in Los Angeles, there's so many people here, the traffic, the sirens, and the helicopters. I talk about it on every single podcast. People are getting tired of me talking about it. But, it's handy to live here. And in Texas, it's 1,500 miles away. And once, we're driving back and forth. And when you get down there, there's a shitload of work that's got to be done. And it's that fun kind of work, riding the tractor, macho shit. But then after you're doing it for like 3 weeks, and you're sitting in the deer stand, it's 95 degrees every single day. It's like, man, this is getting old.
You can get swarmed.
And then me and my buddy Ted Fowler and me, we're throwing down the Broken Skull Ranch margaritas like it's nobody's business. So, I had a triple wide down there, and the lighting in my triple wide, I'd be like through mid-season, haggard as hell, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I'd look in the mirror like, dude, for all the drinking and shit you're doing, you still look pretty good. Then all of a sudden, we come back, and I get in my mirror over here with good light, and I'm like, God damn, what happened?
That's South Texas lighting, man. It's just it's a different scale it's playing on versus.
Yeah, you know the scale.
Oh yeah, man.
So it applies to us too. So anyway, like on that place in Nevada, I was looking at one of those campers because 90% of Nevada is BLM. Like, we just have a small place now. I had 2,000 acres in South Texas, but now a real small footprint. But I just trailer, 5 miles. Well, I can ride my shit to where I want to ride. And I have a couple thousand, I have hundreds of thousands of acres to ride around on.
Man, those
so I was checking into, I like the mules, and I got a Brute Force 750 four-wheeler, and that thing's it's an arm straightener. This arm doesn't straighten out, it'll damn near straighten it. But I was thinking about getting me one of those camper setups with the gimmick on top.
Man, I love it. I tell you, it's the best way I can describe it, right, is like I like sleeping in a tent. But it's like somewhere between sleeping in a tent and being in a treehouse.
I want to be off the ground.
You're elevated.
Yeah, you got to be off the ground.
There ain't nothing coming up and sneaking and diving into your tent with you.
Yeah.
And worst case scenario, you can always keep AR up there with you.
Dude, we went on a hunting trip last year in Nevada. My brother-in-law is a guide up there. He knows that whole state like the back of his hand. Swear to God, it's uncanny. I look around at just mountain after mountain, and it's like, okay, I'm getting turned around.
Right.
And if you get lost out there, you're pretty well screwed because
you're in the middle of nowhere.
Big country.
It looks like the moon.
So anyway, I got a mule deer the first evening.
Okay.
But the plan the next day, we were going to stay in this old cowboy shack. And it's about the size of this room right here back behind you. Dude, this thing was truly built in like the early 1900s. There's cracks and stuff. There's mice running everywhere.
Shit.
And there's let me see, it's me, Royce, Mitch, and there's 4 of us.
Snuggled up.
So here's the thing. These guys, this is what they do. I'm a city slicker from Los Angeles, right? And in Texas, dude, I have my triple wide, my double wide.
Course,
I'm not roughing it.
No.
My deer stands are insulated. I got a Mr. Buddy heater.
That's my laugh about the tent. Like, look, I'm roughing it with a $50,000 truck and a $3,000 tent on top of it.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, they told me the game plan. We might stay at this remote location on the second night, and I'm thinking, okay, shit, I'm gonna go get a sleeping bag. And so I go to Walmart. And I got this bright red gimmick sleeping bag with like the polyfoam or whatever it is, styrofoam, whatever it is.
Pull that out of your bag.
It's as big as this laptop computer in a circle, right? And they've got these badass bed rolls that you roll down. It's on, about 4 inches of foam. And then they got these badass sleeping bags. And I got this sissy set up. And then on top of that, get this, here's the clincher. I got sleep apnea. Dude, I don't go to sleep as big as you were at over 300.
When I was big, I snored, but I never had apnea.
Okay.
Like I would never stop breathing, but I sleep on my stomach.
Okay. Well, I've got so many, my nose has been broken so many times, these deviated septums ain't worth the shit. So anyway, I'm thinking, okay, we're going to rough it. but there ain't no way I'm going to sleep without my sleep apnea machines. Machine.
So you got to set up a generator.
Well, here's the thing. They make these battery packs.
Okay.
And I was like, man, I ain't going to get out there because this is a 110-volt rig, that I sleep with every night. And I'm not going to trust this battery pack because, I didn't get a chance to field test. It was like I started shopping for one like the day before.
Of course, right.
And so I was like, man, dude.
Was rolling the dice on it. Yeah.
I went down to the local motorcycle shop, got a generator, got a 50-foot extension cord. I'm thinking,
I guess you see these other guys with you, this motherfucker here.
Dude, and here's the thing, we had plenty of whiskey and it was a good time, and it was like, I didn't really give a shit what they thought because, first of all, me and my brother-in-law are extremely tight, and those other guys are good cats. Yeah. And I knew that I was going to be the material that everybody's going to be laughing at, but I was going to have my generator 50 feet away, crank start it, and then have my sleep apnea machine on. But luckily, I shot a buck the first night, and we didn't have to go through that ordeal. But I was prepared to sacrifice being the coolest motherfucker out there to being the guy in the CPAP machine
with
mask.
His Walmart sleeping bag.
Oh man, and I would have froze my ass off. The key to Nevada, what I found is an electric blanket.
Really?
Dude, forget about it. Next time you go out there, you got to get you a generator and just run your electric blanket.
Yeah, so we managed out in Sedona. I mean, it got cold tonight, but like...
How cold?
You said it got in the 30s?
Oh, man, I'm talking about stuff like 6 degrees.
This was
stuff.
New Year's.
Yeah. How are y'all guys roughing it? How are you and your wife roughing it? Are y'all cooking over a fire? You got a bunch of pre-made food?
No, we packed a big ice chest with us and had some food in it, but we cooked every night. We got a little Coleman stove with some butane and got fire. Yeah. And so, we cooked all of our meals. Some ground meat and shit like that every night. Just ground meat and cheese over.
So your wife's down with that?
Yeah, she'll get after it for a couple days. She's got a hell of a trial by fire coming up. We're doing in July. We're doing a 16-day trip on the Grand Canyon, rafting and camping. Like, we'll never come out of the canyon.
Badass.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
When that's over, I'm putting her on a plane, flying her home, so she can go take care of the dogs, and then I'm driving up to Portland. To go announce at a Highland game, so I've moved into that role, play MC every now and then do one the next weekend in Seattle and drive home. So I'm trying to figure out what friends I want to catch on the way back from Seattle.
That'll be a good trip.
Oh, it'll be good.
So how do you like doing the hosting stuff now and MCing?
Well,
because you know the drill, you've been around, you've done it all.
I know the sport, right?
Yeah.
So it's I have a unique combination of I know the sport, I've got credibility. Which, look, the crowd doesn't care, but it doesn't hurt.
Well, let me put it this way. I love Bill Kazmaier.
Yeah.
But he's not the smoothest MC in the world.
No, he's not. He's Bill, right?
Yeah.
And I've got to know Bill a bunch, man. And the one thing, I love talking to Bill. The problem is when something triggers and he switches to Kaz, you can watch him glass over and go through this rehearsed story that he knows the breaks. He knows it's so good. But I'm like, shit, man, you just left. Like where'd you go? And so I've done a couple MCing gigs. The first one was rough. Made a mistake. Flew in to New Hampshire to do this game. Great game, and it's all the guys I'm competing with too. So they're talking shit and busting balls. And my knee was bugging me from the flight, so I hit my pen a little bit and got out there on the field and started MCing. What I didn't expect to happen was the way the PA system was set up, I had like this quarter-second delay between what I was saying and what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So that and being a little bit high was really struggling the first day. And so like my buddies were like, oh man, it's going to be a rough weekend if this is how it goes. And then the next day I was smooth, good to go, and could talk and make fun of the guys.
How was it? Was this for television? Were you wearing like a gimmick thing in your ear?
No, I don't have anybody giving me any of that.
Okay,
it's just
then that's
loose on the microphone talk.
Then that's a lot better. That's a lot easier.
Yeah, it's just keep the crowd in it and kind of explain what's going on. And the one thing I'm trying to do, if I'm announcing, is try to actually explain that, like, this is this guy's third attempt and he needs to throw this far to try to move up. Let's try to explain that to the crowd, because it's tough. Like, if you're watching from 100 feet away and 46 foot's a good throw and 43 foot's an okay throw,
right,
you can't tell the difference from that distance. So you got to have someone that's explaining, that 47 foot's world class, 43 foot you're a goat,
right?
And so trying to make that play over, and announce and keep things exciting and throw in some facts and different stories here and there, and then the history behind it. That stuff I really like too. I like the history to it. And that with the Highland Games was fun. Like, man, I got really lucky and for a couple years got to go to Scotland and compete. And so my buddies that were over there, I'd travel with them. And so it's different because the weather shit. And so I'd go to Scotland for 20 days and compete 15 times. You're getting it every day. Cold and it's rainy, but you'll go do a competition and it's like, oh, this is a 700th running of this competition. And like the field records are the same and it's the same stone they've used the whole time. And so I've become really fascinated with like the strength culture that's come through different societies and like where that history's got us. So it's like stone lifting in Iceland that I've been able to go do and do things like that. That like part of it's you got to go there. It's not this theoretical thing that you lifted enough weight in your garage and you're good enough. Like you got to show up and pick up that stone.
Right.
And do it in those conditions. I dig all that.
Being a little bit of a history buff then and going back, have you ever done any research, obviously a different sport, but in the strength game, any of the feats or the history of Paul Anderson?
Of course.
Dude, that dude was an absolute. I think he was the first beast. I mean, you had all these strong men from back in the day, but I mean,
Paul Anderson is an absolute strong guy, no doubt about it. I believe there's some fuckery involved. A bit, yeah.
In what regard?
The guy was doing shows. He's getting paid to do shows.
Right.
He wasn't doing things he was failing at. I mean, do I think he was strong and a lot stronger than other people? Oh, yeah. Do I think at some point you can inflate a number of the weight on the bar? Because he doesn't know he's going in the history books as a thing. That wasn't his intention. You know, right. I think that you can do that. But, I mean, how many times I've been at a strongman show or something like that, you do the same thing. This guy's 6'10" and 500 pounds. Like, dude, I mean, you're making a show.
Yeah, it's straight out of the wrestling game.
Look,
which is straight out of the carnival game.
Don't let the facts get in the way of good entertainment.
Right. Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think a little bit of that with Paul Anderson for sure. And I don't take anything away from the guy when he was doing shit. But the same way I feel about Louis Cyr or any of these other classic ancient strongmen that, like, we can't verify any of this stuff. You know, the same thing with the Denny stones in Scotland, right? Like that Donald Denny carried these two stones across this bridge. When you're talking about two big stones that have a shackle and a ring on them that you hook grip into the ring and pick them up and carry them. One of them is 420 pounds and the other one's 300 and change. And I've picked them up just as a deadlift and held them. I'm not going anywhere with those. Like, Donald Denny was 220 pounds. This guy didn't carry these across the Potarch Bridge.
Right.
That didn't happen.
Right.
You know, I know Kaz went over there at one point and picked him up and got mad and picked up one of the stones and threw it. Like, and ended up chipping a piece off of it. And he's like, no way Donald Denny carried those stones. and so I love all of that. You know, that's all part of it, man, that these weird things. And then you've got guys like Zydrunas Savickas. Zydrunas is the strongest human that's ever lived. Zydrunas Savickas is Lithuanian guy, is the strongest person that we have like full record of. Now, what Brian Shaw is doing or what Hapthor is doing, I mean,
this dude's got a pretty good physique too.
Big boy.
I mean, he's got a little drum on him.
Well, he changes it depending on contest.
Right.
Like, he'll go from 380 pounds back down to 330 when he doesn't need to be that big. But he's done it for so long that I think he would have won the most World's Strongest Men ever if there wouldn't have been this weird split where IFSA did its own thing and then he went with IFSA instead of WSM.
Right.
Man, there's just so many weird stories like that. I mean, John Paul Sigmarsson was an Icelandic guy. I mean, that's who Kaz was fighting it out with, was John Paul. And one of the headaches there for Kaz was that, you know, I mean, the first time they did the log press at World's Strongest Man, right? You watch it, and they start with the log standing up vertical, like this, not the way they do it now. And so talking to Bill about it, I mean, why'd y'all do it like that? Why was it vertical? And he's like, well, we've never seen this thing before. And the first guy walked up, picked it up off the ground, tore both of his hamstrings. So we just assumed that wasn't the way to do it. And so they go on with that. And part of the issue with John Paul was, so all of the World's Strongest Men events have always been planned by Dr. Douglas Edmonds. And Dougie is the years that I've been fortunate enough to go to Scotland and compete, I stay at Dougie's house. So it's a weird history that's there too, that like all the old equipment is there and all these things. And so, I mean, Dougie's been around forever. He's the old guy in big black hat you see on World's Strongest Man as the head judge. He's like, good lift, no lift. Like, that's Dougie.
Right.
And so John Paul lived at Dougie's house. And so he got to train on the equipment prior to World's Strongest Man. So there's a little bit of shine there, right? And so, I mean, the year that John Paul beat O.D. Wilson when they competed in Iceland, the last event they chose to do was like this 400-pound backpack full of brick carry around a track. Like, OD is a big, giant guy. That ain't for him.
What's the, obviously, no drug testing?
In World's Strongest Man?
Yeah.
Now, with that said, so they do a drug test before World's Strongest Man. And they do like a full screen and all that. And it's basically a health check to decide whether or not you're allowed to compete.
Right.
And from what I understand, they also use it as, if you've decided to be an asshole, we have a way to pull the plug on you.
Right.
So just don't be an asshole.
Right.
Which it's never had to be employed.
Hey, tell me about your clothing brand.
Hate Brand.
Yeah, because I was sitting there looking at it, and I was like, man, I ain't getting this. What is this? And I finally got on the website, and then I've understood what it meant. But break it down and tell people how they can check that out.
So Hate Brand Good. So it's spelled with H and then the Roman numeral 8. This kind of started, it was conversations my brother and I had, and like the type of athletes that we were always, infatuated with. And it was, you'd be like a Jerry Rice type of guy, right? That this guy's the best of all time as a receiver. And you would hear these stories about him, getting up and being at the track and going to run hills at 4 in the morning, catching bricks and doing all this unconventional shit. That guy hates himself more than you do. That's the same thing with like Dana, training with her. She'll outsuffer you. Like she will push herself harder than you. And look, you can't pick genetics. You can't pick any of this other shit, but you can choose work. And to be outworked is a choice. And so, for me, a lot of that was looking in the mirror and saying like, this ain't going to cut it. Let's be better. I got to work. I got to do it. And so hate yourself more than that next guy does. We're all pretty comfortable, right? And so it's self-motivation through a bit of self-loathing. I think it's a healthy thing. I'm not a participation trophy type of guy.
Boy, I ain't either.
I don't understand it. I think failure's good. There ain't nothing wrong with failure. Failure is a hell of a lot better teacher than success ever is. People that succeed just go, oh shit, well that worked. You didn't have to figure anything out. That's kind of where the brand started, and it's grown and become its own thing. It was something I wrote about in the couple training manuals I wrote when things got started with the Highland Games, and then enough people finally following or whatever asked, make a shirt. And I was like, I ain't trying to sell 5 T-shirts and have to deal with this. And then partnered up with a buddy who helped me do the fulfillment side of things. And so,
dude, that's a pain in the ass, the fulfillment side.
It is. I've been fortunate enough that whenever it started, I had the real job, so I could never lie to myself to say I had time to do this shit.
Right.
So from jump, I've had, I handle designing, I handle concepts, and I handle promoting. I stay out of the side of it that doesn't need me to do.
So you're doing the designs?
Yeah. I've moved on. I've moved on now to where I'm doing concept of design because I'm so bad at Illustrator or Photoshop that it takes me forever to get it done. Whereas a buddy of mine who I've known forever, Drew, with Slash, I can walk in with what I've sketched up and he can turn it into usable things.
He can make chicken salad out of chicken shit.
That's exactly right. Yeah, and I'm showing up with chicken shit.
Right.
And so, but concepts and like what I want, the feel of the brand to be, I've got. I get to stay on that creative side of things where I can't hire someone to do that. That's the part that I got to do. That's coming here to do this. I can't outsource this. That's part of the work, man. That's how you do it.
So you're going to stop by Gold's and get some sessions in, or what? Too busy.
Please, that's not my style of gym, man. I'd rather sit in here and train with you way more than I would rather go to Gold's. Man, like the Gold's thing for me, I don't know, man. Seeing a bunch of guys in stringer tank tops and it's not my style.
I got my doors blowing off. There's a young lady over there. It's a couple years ago. It's after my first shoulder rebuild. And I was training shoulders. I'm just on a comeback trail. You've never had any shoulder issues. So.
Not yet.
And there I was. I think I had 40s. I was just doing dumbbell press. Dude, when you've had a shoulder surgery, a 40-pound dumbbell press on the way back, it's 40 pounds.
Oh,
well, dude, you're starting off
leg
with a 1 1/4. That little pink sumbitch. That's real humble. Yeah. And bringing up squatting, dude, you don't have the range of motion
to get under the bar. Safety squat bar is one of the best.
I love that thing.
Yeah, it's great.
And also the thing I love about a safety squat bar is I have this board in there, It's like it was like a main beam. It was like it's probably 4 inches tall. It's about 3 feet wide. And it's about a foot wide.
Okay,
dude, you get that safety squat on your shoulders. Step up on that.
Oh yeah,
calf raises like a mug. I mean,
I got genetically blessed with calves, so that one's been set.
Man, I love that thing.
Yeah,
but God dang, what was I just talking about? Oh man, here comes this chick, and she's going up to 80s. And when she was doing the 60s, I was like, man, this is bad.
Oh,
and then she went up to 80s, and I was like, come on, man, really? So I switched to buys and tries.
Boy, we'll go ahead and switch gears here.
And then I haven't been back since.
No, you know, like,
I get caught
I've
up
just
because people
spent
want to
so little
talk too
time
much.
in that commercial gym, and man, I like dungeons and garages and dirty weight equipment, and
yeah, I saw you set up.
work.
You had a couple rubber mats down. You got chains everywhere.
Yeah. I love my
that's
garage,
atmosphere.
man. Yeah, I love my garage. I'm happy to train by myself. I don't need a bunch of crazy music playing. You know, I like doing it. I don't need the motivation, right? Like, that's where I want to be.
Hey, let's shut her down. Tell people where you can find you on Instagram and Twitter and your YouTube channel.
Yeah,
and
so
your
YouTube
website.
channel's Matt Vincent. I think if you search Matt Vincent, you'll find me. Real ugly guy, beard. On Instagram, I'm I Hate Matt Vincent, spelt the way the brand is. HVIII. I think on Twitter, I'm Matt So Awesome, which Twitter just tends to be a dump from other places.
Man, good luck on your travels. Good luck
Man, I
everything
appreciate
you
it.
got.
Yeah, it should be a good run, like I said. Yeah, so Sacramento, and then I'm home for a couple days, and then I'm up to Vancouver, Canada. I got a seminar I'm doing up there, and then off to Sorinex for Summer Strong for a couple days. That's a hell of a trip. I got to hook you up with Bert.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out.
Bert Soren. Yeah, up to the seminar in New Hampshire in June, and then I think I got like 2 weeks before I'm doing something else. But I'm home about 15 days a month.
Sound like you keep 'em busy.
I like it. Kind of one of the things with the brand is rest when I'm dead. You know, whenever that time comes. I don't know when it's going to be, but those tickets will be punched.
You got a couple good years left in you, kid. Best of luck.
I appreciate it.
Are you looking for a champion's insight from a fan's perspective into the world of sports and entertainment?
Then check out In the Key with me, NBA champion BJ Armstrong.
And me, sports analyst Gerald Brown.
Right here on Podcast One. We know the business, and each week we'll chat with celebrity guests and provide an informed discourse on the cultural beats of the moment.
Download new episodes of In the Key every Thursday on PodcastOneSports.com, the Podcast One app, or Apple Podcasts.
All right, everybody, give me the go-home cue. It's time to wrap up this podcast and ride off in the sunset. Before I do that, I want to thank my guest, Matt Vincent, for coming by. Former two-time world champion Highlands game guy. Anyway, check him out on social media. I'll also say it. Instagram is Matthew Vincent, IH, then in Roman numeral 8, Matt Vincent. I Hate Matt Vincent on Instagram. On Twitter, he is Matt So Awesome. And check him out on Twitter, YouTube, and his Instagram account. Anyway, I had a great time talking to Matt. It's always fun talking to these dudes one-on-one. He actually stayed for about 4 hours after we finished the podcast, and we started shooting the breeze and talking about all kinds of stuff. So, good dude. I look forward to doing his podcast, and I'll keep you informed of when and where and how that happens. Anyway, man, all my T-shirts from Broken Skull Ranch are still at ProWrestlingTees.com/Steve Austin. And the best damn IPA on the planet happens to be mine, Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA from El Segundo Brewing Company. And you can find it at Whole Foods and Total Wines if you live in Cali. And if you don't live in Cali, check InsideTheCellar.com and see if they ship to your state. And if you're looking to get a badass pocket knife, which I highly suggest everyone has, I got 2 of them. One of them is the Cold Steel Broken Skull knife, and the other is the Cold Steel Working Man's knife. And you can get them both at my new Amazon store. Amazon has the best price on both knives. Just go to Amazon.com/shop/Steve Austin. And I got to say one more thank you to all the fine sponsors of the Steve Austin Show. That's how I'm able to do this podcast for you twice a week for free. And you can find all my sponsors at PodcastOne.com. Just click on the Killer Deals button at the top of the page, and then click on the Steve Austin Show banner. Folks, until next time, my name is Steve Austin, and I will catch your ass down the road.
This has been a Podcast One production. Download new episodes of The Steve Austin Show every Tuesday at PodcastOne.com. That's PodcastOne.com.